My name is Andres. I am a Colombian student here in Bristol. I was basically born in a Catholic family back home, but my family started shifting to kind of Christianity really when I was about 8 years old. And I only went really to church because they dragged me along. And when I started growing, I just kept doing it because it was discipline and I just had to do it, not because I really wanted to. When I moved into the UK and started studying here in Bristol, I basically started coming by myself, but I never really got integrated into church experience really. It was just like a Sunday Christian. Really like a few months ago or a year ago, I started to trying to explore more because I just felt a bit empty, and I just felt like there was something that was missing in my life. So I started exploring. I recently joined different groups in church and at Woodlands, and then I realized that I wanted to commit myself fully to Christ and to God. Since I started committing to since I committed to Christ, I felt very, very different. I felt I had first of all I felt a lot happier. That joy that really the earth cannot take of you, even though you have lots of problems and issues and pressure from all over. So this is the main thing that you can, the main practical application, I suppose. But also there is also the sense of security, because even if you have problems, even if you fall, or even if there is something going on in your life that is not particularly nice, you have someone to fall onto that can definitely sustain you, and even better, can lift your weight off you when these things happen. The reason why I seek baptism, it's because I believe that it is a good way. It is the best way. It is in the Bible to express fully and commit myself completely to God. I realized that I didn't have to be a fully grown Christian to do this. So this is the reason why I want to do it, because I just want to tell the world that I'm a Christian, that I don't have any shame to do it, and I would really like to live my life completely to Christ.
My name's Rob. I was raised as a cultural Catholic, only really going to church at Christmas and Easter. When I was 18, I went to Mexico on my gap year, and I lived with a family out there for 6 months. While I was there, I met a girl who I fell in love with, and I followed her everywhere, even to church. At the time, she was going to a Baptist church, and even though I didn't understand everything that was sung and talked about, I could see a big difference in how the people felt when they were there. They wore their faith on their sleeves. You could see they really wanted to be there. They didn't go because they felt they ought to, or because it was tradition, but they went, as I said, because they wanted to. And that had a big impact on me. And over time, I eventually came back to the UK, but we carried on a long distance relationship for a few years, which wasn't that easy, but she was worth it. So whenever I could, I would go back to Mexico and again carry on following her to church. And I understood more and more, learnt more about Christianity and the Bible. And gradually, the more I learned, the more I felt that it was true. And eventually we got married, and I brought her back here, and we started going to Woody's. And this was about 8 years ago. And Woody's is an amazing church, and I've learned a lot there. And gradually I've found answers to the questions that I had. Because even though I believed the truth of Christianity in my heart, my head still wasn't too sure. And a few years ago I discovered apologetics, and suddenly I found that there were good answers, good reasons and evidence to support the truth of Christianity. And so now I've come to the point at which I believe it in my head and my heart, and I can say, yes, this is true, this is what I believe, and that's why I want to get baptised today. at Woody's, the aim is to continually reproduce the life of Jesus, and certainly that's what I aim for. I don't know if I'll ever fully achieve it, but it's a good thing to aim for. And I think generally in lots of areas of my life and my outlook on things, it has been changing as I've tried to do that. When you love someone, you do what they ask of you, and God asks us to be baptised. And so, in obedience to him, to show that I do love him, I'm being baptised.